Hello, everyone. Steve Merker here, the Chief Cycling Officer of the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer. And to my left is...
Hi, it's Tammy Johnson, your ride director. It is so good to be back. Welcome.
It is good to be back. But you know what, Tammy? I'm a little bit sad today. You know why?
Why?
So I was on Facebook. I go on Facebook once in a while. And you know how Facebook feeds you your memories?
Yeah.
And I have been flooded with Facebook memories from the past, 12 or 13 years. And they're all pictures of me, of my family, of my friends, of my team in the Ride to Conquer Cancer, like getting ready photos, right? Or event photos. And these memories are coming back. And it makes me a little bit sad because I would love to be together with 5,000 of our best bike ride friends this weekend, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to.
No, but we will in spirit, right? And I think I've got something to share with everyone a little later on how we can kind of feel that feel again. But I'll save it for later.
And you know what? It's, as we always say, it's not about where, it's about why. We all have a why. We like to ride. And one quick story I want to share, and some of you may have heard this story before, but I just wanted to share it again because it's such an incredible story. So some of you know Bill Wall, the oldest rider in, not just all-time history of the Ride to Conquer Cancer, but maybe forever. Like this guy just turned 93, and Bill rode for his 10th time last year. And he said, Steve, I'm retiring from the ride. I got my platinum helmet, I'm retiring. And we said, Bill, way to go. He says, I'm going to still volunteer. So I got an email from him in the winter, and it said, Steve, I'm coming out of retirement. I said, what? You're coming out of retirement? He says, there's a reason for it. And the reason is a pretty powerful why. And many of you know the rider we had in our event, Julianne Misk, who rode on the back of a tandem bike with her father. And unfortunately, and very sadly, Julianne passed away last summer. And so Bill called up Joe, Julian's father, and said, I want to ride in place of Julianne. Of course, you can never replace Julianne. What an incredible spirit she was. But Bill, at 93 years old, is going to ride on the back of the tandem bike to honor the ride, to honor Julianne, and to be one of my whys and why I'm riding this year as well. So I thought I'd share that great story of inspiration.
So inspirational. And it is more than a pleasure. It's an honor to know Bill and to have met him and to see him riding, especially with Joe. What a wonderful couple. I can't wait to see them both on the bike. It's going to be great.
Me too.
Love it.
A couple of other fun stories I just wanted to update on. If you've been on our leaderboards, we've got this one guy, Murray, who has raised $167,000. He's aiming for over $200,000. This guy is unbelievable. He lives out in Vancouver, motivated by the cause. I know he's got a personal connection to cancer, but it's amazing to see what some people are doing with their fundraising this year.
Yeah, it's really, I'm using the word inspirational a lot, but, when we look at where things were early last year versus where we are today, it's like night and day. And granted, we're still not where we all want to be, but it is incredibly powerful and inspirational. Again, I'm using that word to see how everyone's rallied around this cause and really stepped up this year. I'm hugely impressed.
Yeah, well, back to the leaderboard, you talk about engagement. Holy cow, like, our Steve Cycle Pass team is at, I think they're at $115,000 raised, our biggest and most successful all-time community team. And then if you look over on the corporate side, you have RBC and Deloitte battling it out for first place, like leading our peloton. So kudos.
Very exciting.
We're really kicking up into high gear this year.
No kidding. It's awesome. It's awesome. And to work with these folks, it's amazing. Corporate, community, individual, on a team, it doesn't matter. It's so great to be able to talk to these folks and to see what they're planning, especially for this coming weekend, which would have been, as you said, our ride weekend.
But we are going to honor this weekend. I know you're going to get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But what do we got in store for folks tonight, Tam?
Well, I think we're going to talk about the overall event, the outlook of the event. Maybe we'll talk about what we've raised to date. I don't know. Or we could have people guess what we've raised to date. We're going to talk about we're going to bring some members of our team forward. Like, when's the last time we got to see folks from our team, probably the last ride. So we're going to have our logistics manager, we're going to have our ride manager, our ride guide manager. It's going to be a real nice mix of information coming from people other than you and me.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get off this show. Like, we need to bring in some fresh meat for this presentation.
For sure. And we're going to talk about, like I said, we're going to talk about a challenge that's coming up this weekend, online check-in. Our early registration grand prize draw is also going to happen. There's a $4,000 credit towards a carbon bike up for grabs. So that's coming up as well.
Right on.
How about I start off?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So everyone, I think, who's tuned in right now is aware that we have pushed the date of our ride. So where, as Steve mentioned, we would have ridden on this coming weekend. But instead, we pushed to August 28th and 29th, which is the same date that we hosted our event last year. And what does that mean? It's a virtual event. What's virtual? So for all of you who are joining us today and who have yet to participate in our ride, virtual means you're riding for your why. It's not where, it's why you ride. So whether you decide to ride inside on your Peloton or your stationary bike, or get outside on your bike, or if you're walking, jogging, it really doesn't matter. We want you to participate and get out there, be active. Cycling is one of the safest sports right now, especially over the past year. And it's been something that I know I've been turning to for exercise and just getting out and having fun. It's kind of the way I spend time with my husband. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. So, if you have questions on how that works, you can connect your Strava to your bike and you can pedal away and we'll clock your kilometers in your personal participant center, Steve, I wonder if you could talk about online check-in, because that's another really important date for us.
Yeah, it's coming up quick. So for those who aren't familiar with the way we usually roll, on July 19th this year, we're going to be launching our online check-in. So what is that? So it's the ability for riders to go in, confirm their sizing, which is really key, because we have some people who've been riding like maniacs for the past year and they've lost a lot of weight, they've gone down in size, and then there's other people who have collected their COVID-19 and they've probably gone up maybe one, maybe two. Tammy, I don't know, how many sizes have you gone up? Sorry, just joking. So you know what, we need you to confirm your size of your jersey and your shirt, that kind of stuff. We need you to watch the safety video, right? Because when we do ride virtually together this coming August, we want to make sure that you're doing it safely. So that's a key thing. We also want you to confirm a few other things, like
address.
Address. Oh yeah, I mean there's all those things. So we need you to do the online check-in. There's going to be a little glimpse of the 15th year anniversary of the Enbridge Ride to Conquer next year, and maybe you sign up for next year. There's
physical
ride. There's also, if you wanted to do a delayed self-pledge. So what a delayed self-pledge is, or we call it a DSP, is, let's just say you wanted to get this beautiful ambassador jersey that I'm wearing, and sponsored by RBC, little plug for RBC. If you want to get this beautiful jersey that I'm wearing, you have to raise $2,500 this year. So let's say you're at like $2,100, you're $400 away from earning the ambassador jersey, and you really want it and you want to wear it proudly on the ride weekend. So we have this thing, the delayed self-pledge. You're essentially putting your credit card down. I think we put $2 on your credit card, and what you're essentially doing is saying, you know what, I'm going to commit to raising that $2,500. So we give you, for 2 months after the ride, so up to October the 29th, you have to raise that extra $400 to get to the $2,500. But because you've committed to it, we're going to send you your ride jersey, the yellow one, in advance. So those are some key dates that you should be aware of as we approach ride weekend.
Right on.
The other thing I wanted to mention quickly before we hand it over to Bass, our logistics guy, is people have been asking us about, are you going to do an in-person ride? Are you going to do a physical event? And I would love to. Trust me, there's no one that would love more to host a 5,000 person event with an overnight at McMaster and have a few steam whistles than me. I would love to have that, but the reality is we won't be able to do that. However, we are looking into some options that, if possible, we would like to execute on. All I can tell you is we have a couple of venues booked. We're looking at some one-day options, but I'm going to hand it over to Bas de Beer to talk a little bit more about the logistics of the virtual ride and maybe tease out a few more ideas about what we might be able to do on ride weekend if the authorities let us. So Bas, over to you.
Thanks so much, Steve. I really appreciate it. That was a great intro. My name is Bas. I'm the manager of event operations at the ride. And I wanted to give you a little bit more insight into the plan for our event logistics this year and the suggested routes that we're proposing. It's obviously very exciting that we're moving towards a stage 1 reopening tomorrow. And we have been working very hard behind the scenes to see what our 2021 ride will look like. And after having to postpone our event to August 28th, 29th, we're trying to optimistically review the options for this new date and have a go or no-go date in place that will see us have a virtual or in-person event in August. This will obviously also determine hydration stations for some of the more popular suggested routes that we put out there. The hydration stations itself will be back to basic and featuring the essentials that you'll need, such as a washroom break, enjoying a light snack, and some water hydration, really all that you need on a long ride. Regardless of that outcome, and similar to last year, we will be having a live opening ceremonies on that Saturday, August 28th. And we definitely encourage you to ride both days, whatever route you obviously choose, whether that's a route of your own or one of the amazing routes that we're going to suggest to you. And talking about routes, we'll be providing you with an abundance of suggested routes by tomorrow. They'll be featured on our Strava Club page that should be popping up right about now on our Facebook and YouTube chat. So be sure to sign up for a Ride to Conquer Cancer Strava Club so you can stay in the know. Next part, I'm going to feature one of our most popular routes with you right now. It's the Lake Simcoe route. This was by far the most popular route that riders were riding last year. And obviously there's a very good reason for that. So I'm going to show you a quick preview of what that would look like on this Relive app. Now, it's a 100-kilometer out and back route starting from the Markham area around the 19th Avenue and McCown Road. We follow the always popular cycling road Warren Avenue in a northbound fashion, all the way up towards Keswick, located by Lake Simcoe, as you know, is gorgeous. We take in the beautiful views of Lake Simcoe, at which point you would have already cycled about 50 kilometers. That means you're about halfway there. From reaching the halfway point, you'll be heading southbound down Kennedy Road, and at which point you'll actually hit the 3/4 mark, 75 kilometers done. And from there, you'll be continuing on and riding past Musselman's Lake. We've actually featured this lake in previous training rides. And let me tell you, it's one of my favorites. From there, it's southbound on McCown Road. They'll bring you right back to where you started in Markham, so around 19th Avenue, McCown Road. Please do let us know if you have any questions. And obviously, stay tuned for those routes coming out tomorrow on Strava. There's going to be over 20 routes posted there, and I'm sure you'll be very excited to ride any of those and check them out. I'm going to throw it over to Stay to talk about rider recognition right now.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stay Fan, your ride manager. Everyone calls me Stay, as Baz did. And apparently, according to Steve, I'm fresh meat. So I'm happy to be here. First thing I want to do is recognize everybody who registered early by March 31st. And self-donated $35. So by doing that, you earned a spot on the Ride Monument, which is outside the Cancer Center on University Avenue. So we're going to play a quick little video here in recognition of that to get started.
Tammy Johnson, your ride director, and I'm standing in front of the Princess Margaret Cancer Center. You may remember seeing me here in January. Register before January 31st, 2021 for the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer, and you could have your name inscribed on the Ride to Conquer Cancer monument outside the Princess Margaret Cancer Center. Well, it's June. Cycling weather couldn't be better. And I'm back to celebrate the thousands of you who stepped up and registered early. You are the fuel that drives life-saving cancer research forward, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you for riding with us to the finish line. Ride on.
So the next thing I want to touch on is the various jerseys that you can earn by raising specific amounts of money for the ride. So even though we've extended things a couple of months and given you some extra time to raise funds, the different levels are going to remain constant. So if you want to earn the 2021 official ride jersey, the fundraising level you need to hit is still only $1,500 for this year. If you want to be considered an ambassador, and earn the ambassador jersey, which you should be seeing on your screen here, the level is still only $2,500 for this year. And then if you're brave enough to get out there and in one day ride 100 miles or 160 kilometers, you're going to earn both the ambassador jersey and the amazing hammer vest. So the next way that we like to recognize our longtime riders is with either gold or platinum helmets, which Steve alluded to before. So for those of us who've ridden for 5 or 10 years and raised the required amount of money in those years, you're going to be rewarded with either a gold or a platinum helmet. So if you're on track to do that this year, when the helmets come in mid-July, what we're going to make sure to do is reach out to you and figure out how to get those out to you guys as efficiently as possible. And if you're on your way to earning a helmet, all you need to do is obviously ride and raise a minimum of $1,500 this year to earn 1 year towards your next helmet. The other thing I want to touch on is some of you earned a commemorative 2021 Ride to Conquer Cancer long sleeve t-shirt by registering early and self-donating or raising at least $250 before March 31st. And we pushed the event out, so we don't have those t-shirts in your hands yet, but what we want to do is give you the option to get it early. So next week on the 16th, we're going to put up a store, and if you want to, go ahead and pay for shipping, and we're going to get it out to you as soon as we can. So stay tuned for an email. It's going to have a link to the store, and if you want to get that long sleeve ahead of time, you can go ahead and do that. So now I'm going to pass it back to Steve and Tammy, who are going to touch on some exciting summer opportunities for engagement and some interesting things we've got going on in the lead up to the ride. Thanks, everyone.
So awesome. Well, those are some pretty great updates there, Stay. Thanks so much. And not bad for fresh meat. Thank you. I do want to touch on, I kind of teased it early on. And for those of you who are just joining us, this would have been our ride weekend. This coming weekend would have been our ride weekend. So we decided to commemorate that by throwing out a team challenge. And Steve mentioned early on that we have a leaderboard on our website. It stays there. If you go to our website, you scroll down, you're going to see our leading teams, our leading individuals, and so on. And you'll be able to go through and find your name. Here, we decided to launch this challenge, not just for fundraising, but to get outside and enjoy your bike. Get out there and train and start to feel what it's like and get out there and commemorate Ride Weekend. We are launching KMs, so Kilometers for a Cause Team Challenge tomorrow. So as of midnight tonight, really, 12:01, get on your bike, connect to Strava, and collect points. So here's what's up for grabs. From the 11th to the 13th, for every dollar raised, you earn a point. For every kilometer that is tracked through Strava onto your participant center, you will earn a point. And what can you win? There are 2 ways to win. Best overall team and best average team. So even if you're a small team, small and mighty, you still have a chance of winning. Okay, what can you win, Tam? All right, you can win. We will match the funds raised by your team through the 11th and the 13th. We'll match 50% of those funds up to a maximum of $5,000. Plus, our friends at Deloitte have volunteered to pay for custom Ride to Conquer Cancer cycling caps, similar to what Bass was wearing, but Ride to Conquer Cancer with your team's logo on the brim. Custom for you, every member of the team. For second place, we will match 50% of the funds raised up to a maximum of $3,000. And for third place, we'll match 50% of the funds raised up to a maximum of $1,000. Not bad. And even if you don't win, please have fun and please do it safely. Steve, I think
you took all my lines. Yep, you took all my lines. Yeah, so I was just sitting here staring at the camera as you talked away, but that's fine because
I love this challenge. I'm excited about it.
People will listen to you better than they'll listen to me, but I can kind of finish off your thought there. So you know, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be posting the results. So as you mentioned, we're going to be collecting all of the dollars raised and the kilometers ridden Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Saturday morning, we're going to have a fresh post with the results or the standings, I guess, for all the teams, both by overall and by average number of riders on your team, so that any size team has a chance to win. And then we'll be posting the results again on Sunday. And then on Monday, we will be announcing the winning teams in both categories. So there'll be 6 winning teams in total. So make sure you get on your bicycle. I can see in the chat that there's a lot of hammerheads. Like some guy, Tim's talking about riding 160 kilometers on Saturday already.
Whoa.
So a lot of guys and gals that are going to be out riding a lot this weekend to commemorate the ride weekend. And make sure you do a little fundraising as well. And then we do have, just for the folks who are like wondering, what's Strava? What's this thing all about? So Strava is a free app. There is a paid version, but you can have the free version. And it enables you to track your kilometers ridden. And new this year is on your personal page, you can link your personal page to your Strava. So you can show all of your supporters and all your donors how many kilometers you've been riding. So in order for you to have your kilometers counted for this challenge, you have to make sure you link your Strava account to your personal page. And it's really easy to do. We created a video for it, and we're going to be sharing that video, I believe, in the chat right about now. So it's kind of like the dummies version on how to link your Strava to your personal page. Super easy. So hopefully you can do that today. And then at like 12:01, like Tammy said, get on your Zwift bike and ride like 3 hours through the night so you can collect as many kilometers as possible. You know, and by the way, Tammy and I and the whole team will be available for questions at the end of this session today. But at this point in time, I wanted to invite the newest member to our team, and that's Jill Knight Hunt. And she's going to be talking a little bit more about OCI and some other things about the ride. So Jill, over to you.
Right on.
Thank you so much, Steve. You took a number of my lines, but that's fine. We're going to let that go. I think I guess I'm fresh meat, but maybe day old meat. I would go with that. It's a little bit new. So I'm talking about online check-in, which, as Steve said, is mandatory and so important. Let us know you're participating. It's how we know. And it's also how you claim the rewards that you worked so hard for. So confirm your sizing and your address. Watch our safety certification video and make sure you ride safe. Also take the opportunity to re-register for our 15th anniversary year and take advantage of some of our limited special offers. If you haven't reached your goal, as Steve said, you can actually put through an instant self-pledge, or you can do the delayed self-pledge to give yourself 2 extra months. So you'll have until October 29th. You can, so check in early. You'll get your ride ready kits with your jersey, and they will ship out as soon as you check in. So the earlier, the better. Okay, so I am with the Ride Guide team. We're here to support you for online check-in on July 19th.
Thank you, Jill. And Tammy is on mute. But I apologize for stealing some of your lines, but you know what? I'm paying it forward that Tammy stole all my lines. So I'm just kidding. So Tammy, what do we have next?
Well, I think the rest of the event, I'm just going to take it over because, you know, I wanted to Well, hopefully everyone got to see the monument video. And really, I've got to really commend, we had over 2,300 people step up, register, and self-donate at least $35 before March 31st. Over 2,300 of you did this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is amazing to see. So if you're ever in and around the Princess Margaret at 700 University, it's out front of 610 University, out front of the Cancer Center. It's beautiful, and it is the sight to see. We invite you to come and visit it. Now, just to recap, something that Stefan mentioned earlier on is that we will be opening up a shop, online store, if you will, for lack of a better term, where you can order your long sleeve commemorative shirt just by paying the shipping if you wanted to get that in advance of your online check-in. And we will ensure that we check that off so that we don't double send it to you when you check in online. Now, I think, Steve, we have the opportunity to draw for some of these early registration prizes. And just to remind everyone, we had 3 amazing, I'm going to call them grand prizes for those of you who registered before the 31st, who raised or self-donated at least $500. You were eligible for this draw. And yeah, we're coming through here. This is great. Our first, Steve, do you want to take this one? The first
prize?
Yeah.
So this was the night out. So Fairmont Hotel, Food Dudes, Wine, and Chill.
Package.
Right? So this was our package. So it was an incredible package. And you want me to...
Let's put this, can we put up, because we just did the draw before the event. We had to do that so that we could put it onto a really cool slide. Can we pull that slide up? And Steve, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that slide before.
No, but I know who the winner is because
great.
So I'm going to announce the winner and the name of the winner for the Toronto Night Out on the Town, Shri Seshadri. Shri.
Congratulations.
Way to go, Shri. He's, by the way, Shri's raised already close to $2,000. So he's well on his way to getting to ambassador level fundraising. Awesome work.
That's amazing. Our next draw is for the Garmin watch. It is a beauty. It's at my desk under lock and key. We've kept that baby safe because it is gorgeous and I didn't want Steve to take it. So we are going to pull that name, and the winner is Victoria Maracoli. And I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong, Victoria, but congratulations to you. It's an incredible prize.
Way to go, Victoria. And Victoria, by the way, is also on her way to ambassadorship. She's almost at $1,500 raised. So way to go.
Way to go. Awesome, Victoria. Now I'm going to take the grand prize draw. I know I offered it up. I'm doing it. Grand prize. Actually, before I do this, I have a special message from one of the owners of Skiis and Biikes. If you wouldn't mind, please, sir, playing the video for us now.
Hey riders, thanks so much for registering early and to continue support the Cancer Center at the Princess Margaret Foundation. I'm Devin Montgomery and I'm a co-owner at Skiis and Biikes. We're a family company started in 1978 and we have ski and bike shops across Ontario, including Mississauga, Collingwood, and Toronto. We also have a website, skiisandbikes.com, where you can use promo code RTCC at checkout to get 20% off all bike accessories for the big day. We're also really excited to announce that we're giving away $4,000 towards a carbon road bike, something that looks like this, so you can up your game and beat your friends. Well, thanks so much and have a great ride.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that message. We're really grateful for this partnership and the donation of $4,000 towards a carbon road bike. And I've got to say, for anyone who's been looking for a bike, you know how difficult it is to come across. The winner of the $4,000 credit towards a carbon road bike is Francisco Lorenco. Lorenco. And if I pronounced your name wrong, Francisco, I apologize, but congratulations to you. What an incredible prize. How much has Francisco raised by any chance?
Francisco is, well, as of this morning, I think he was well over $5,000. So this guy's a superstar fundraiser, and it's great to see all three of our winners, who are really engaged in fundraising and supporting, Princess Margaret through the ride. So awesome.
How wonderful. And for those of you who are on the line, and if any of you, the winners, are on the line right now, congratulations. And Jill's team will be reaching out to you within the next couple of days. If you don't hear from them tomorrow, do not worry. We've got your name, we've got your prize, and we can't wait to award it to you. Now, I wonder if maybe we could open things up to questions and answer period, because I think there's a lot of questions, and because we have our entire ride team here with us, I think we could probably answer everything. What do you think?
Let's do it.
We got our first question. Looks like, will the support stations be posted or sent to riders? Like to plan a route around that. That comes from Maddie. Thank you so much, Maddie. I wonder if we could bring Bass back up on the screen to answer this question about the support stations.
Absolutely, very happy to answer that question. That I guess relates to logistics then, right?
I think so.
So we'll definitely be posting those. We're just obviously trying to finalize where those support stations will be. But once those are finalized and we have our lightly supported routes out there, we will be sharing that with you. And like I said before, definitely sign up for our Strava club, because that's the way that we'll be communicating it out, in addition to obviously having the event details on our website. So be sure to stay tuned, and that information will definitely be provided to you. So you could plan whatever route you want around that, or you could choose one of our suggested routes for sure.
Now, Bass, I wonder if you could clarify, because some folks who participated in our event in the physical sense are used to a fully supported, decked out pit stop. What's our pit stop going to look like this year versus what we might have offered in the past?
That's a great question, Tammy. So obviously in past years, as you're used to the elaborate pit stop experience, we kind of have to cut it down to basics for this year. And if you were a part of our event last year, you would have seen that our pit stops are providing you with the necessities that you'll need during your ride. So we're going to be providing you with water. We're going to be providing you with a washroom break and prepackaged snacks. But we want to keep it safe. So we'll ensure to have some hand sanitizer on that table, and we'll ensure to have some volunteers there to help you out. But we obviously want to keep our distance, and we want to play it safe. So it's kind of cutting it down back to basics. We won't have oranges or chips this year. It will really be just prepackaged granola bars that will get you through the ride.
I think that's great. And it's good that you're on the call with us right now, Bass, because there is another question about logistics. Are you able to post the original Classic and Hammer routes on Strava early to have training runs before August 28th and 29th? And that comes from Jamie. Jamie, thanks.
Yeah, Jamie, thank you so much. You're keeping me busy here, which is awesome. We're definitely going to be posting those. And to be more specific, we're going to be posting those tomorrow on our Strava Club. So stay tuned. We'll definitely have those ready for you to download, and you could download them in whatever format you'd like, whether you want to have it on your Strava app or whether you want to download the GPX file. It's all possible through the Strava app. So stay tuned. That'll be posted tomorrow, and you'll be definitely able to download those for yourself.
Okay, next question comes in from Brian, and he's asking, is the ride virtual this year? So Brian, you must have missed Tammy's wonderful, eloquent introduction to this.
It's really good, Brian.
It was really good. You missed it. So yes, indeed, the ride is virtual. I did hint at, we are looking at options to do something in person if we can and if it's safe. We will make a decision on that in mid-July, and we'll communicate to riders if there's any way that we can do some kind of in-person event. We'll do it, but of course we have to take our cues from the health authorities. So as for now, plan your virtual ride. Use our routes that Bass is going to be posting on Strava, or do your own route, and we want you to share it far and wide social media, Strava, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. We want to hear about your virtual ride. Remember, it's not where, it's why.
Steve, I'm going to ask this question. I think it's going to go to you. This one comes from Alyssa. What do I need to pack on my bike for a long ride? And gear, apparel suggestions. Thanks, Alyssa.
So, yeah, good question. And Bas could probably answer this one as well. But like there's if you're depending on how long your ride is, you first of all, this is a big question. You want to make sure you have a spare tire and maybe a pump, so just in case something happens to your bicycle, hopefully you know how to change a tire. It'd be great to have a buddy with you, so if you are riding and you get into trouble, that you have someone that can help you with that. In terms of nutrition, you want to make sure you have 2 water bottles fully loaded, one maybe with water, one with electrolytes. I would also pack a Cliff Bar or an energy gel, a banana. You can certainly go online and you can see a lot of different recommendations in terms of a long bike ride and what to pack. I also recommend, if you're going to be doing your own route, is to plan it with some pit stops along the way. So hit a Tim Hortons or hit a restaurant along the way so that you can fill up your water bottle, use the washroom, have a butter tart and a coffee. And we do encourage you to look at the routes that Bas is going to post tomorrow on Strava, and then pay attention to the messages we send out over the next month, and perhaps consider riding into one of our lightly supported routes, and so you can hit the pit stop and connect with other riders. So hopefully that answers your question, Alyssa.
Right on. Another question comes in from Linda. Linda asks, why did we have to move the ride so far away from the initial ride date? It's still virtual. Thanks, Linda. That's a good question. And we have an answer for you. Steve?
Yeah, well, so when we moved the ride date, we were in like the most heavy duty lockdown. Like this was when Doug Ford was told the police that they could arrest anybody if they stepped outside their home unless it was for first line emergency reasons. So we had a lot of our riders reach out to us and say, you know what, there's no way I'm even going to do a virtual ride in June, because I don't want to be, what happens if my bike breaks down and and I don't have a mask, or so we decided to the safe bet was to move our event to the end of August so that we would distance ourselves from any of the severe restrictions that were put in place back in April. As it turns out, I think we made the right decision. We're just like literally entering stage 1 tomorrow, which is actually 3 days earlier than Ford said at the beginning. So I think it was the right move, and we've had a lot of positive feedback from our riders who were really nervous about getting outside and riding in even small groups in June. So that's why we moved it to the end of August.
Yeah, I think that's good. We have another question that just came in from Andrew. Andrew asks, what are ways to support the ride if I'm unable to participate? And I'm going to assume that Andrew means unable to ride his bike by participate.
Okay,
could be wrong.
Tammy, you can answer that one.
Well, Andrew, one of the best ways is to talk about the Ride to Conquer Cancer. Let other people know about this amazing event. And Andrew, I'm not sure if you've participated in the past, but if so, share your experience. And I'm going to assume that if you have participated, that it was a positive experience. We do post-event surveys at the end of every event, and we always come up with extremely positive review. The other way you can participate, of course, is by fundraising, because really this is what we're here to do, is to raise funds for critical cancer research and spread the word. Post on social media. If you happen to ride past someone who's wearing a Ride jersey, take a photo of them, say hello. We're a peer-to-peer fundraising event, and we are successful because of our riders. Our riders share, they're advocates, they're ambassadors for our event. Steve, I'm sure you have other ideas that I might not have touched on, or did I take all your ideas?
I think you answered it really well, Tammy. You talk about loud and proud and being proud of being involved in the Umbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer. One of the things we did this year was we produced these lawn signs. And I've got one of my lawn signs. I have many right here. So We sent out an email, I think early last week, letting people know where you can pick up your lawn signs. So we want to see these lawn signs out on your in your gardens. If you're out of town and you can't make one of our pickup areas, we have printable, logos that you can post on your window so that people walk by and they can see that you're riding. So so think about that. The next question is from Corey, and he's asking about what's the Ride Strava Club, or no, what's the Ride Strava name? So I thought I'd hand it over to Bass. Maybe you could talk a little bit about the Ride Strava Club and name.
Absolutely. Happy to take that one. The Ride Club Strava name is the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer. You basically just go to strava.com. You look under Explore, you click on clubs, and through there, you could find the club by inserting that name. To make it easy for you, it's actually been put in the comments as well right now under YouTube, as well as our Facebook Live. So if you just want to click on the hyperlink, it'd likely be easier because it will direct you straight to our club, and you can join and stay in the loop. And definitely post your next ride on our posts in the club.
It's the cool club.
It is the cool club.
It's where the cool kids hang. Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer Strava Club. Thanks, Bass. Will this Q&A be available to watch another day? Jackie asks us this. Jackie, yes, we're absolutely recording this so that you can watch it anytime you like. So if you've missed something, by all means. And I believe that we have set things up so that you can take a look and select by logistics or by rider recognition, so you can fast forward or rewind to certain areas of this presentation to make it a little more efficient for you. Hope that answers your question.
Right on, Tammy. Next question comes from Deborah L. Is there a known date for when we are able to pick up our jerseys? So I'm going to throw this over to Stefan to answer this one.
Perfect. Thank you, Steve. And Deborah, it's such a great question. And I'm really glad that you're so enthusiastic about getting your jersey, which is great to see. There's actually only one way to get your ride jersey this year, and that's through the online check-in process, which we're opening up July 19th. So to get your jersey, you're going to have to follow the link that we send out in an email, check in, claim your prize, declare how many funds you're going to raise, confirm your size and your address, and we're actually going to ship your jersey out to you so you don't have to come and pick it up. So through the online check-in process, mandatory, really important, that's how you're going to get your jersey this year. So thank you for that question.
This next question is, I think, for Jill. This one here is, I apologize, from Stevenson. Can we, if we ride before August, do we still have to check in? Jill.
That is a great and very common question. So yes, please do check in. That is how you're going to get your ride ready kit. So you'll get your jersey a little bit after your ride, but we still need you to check in, please.
Wonderful. Thanks so much.
Okay, next question. Maybe we'll throw this one to Stefan. Okay, the question is, to win the Hammer Vest and Ambassador jersey, do you have to complete the 160 kilometers on the ride weekend? From Danans. What's the
Cool
answer?
name.
Thank you for the question. The first thing I'll clarify is that to qualify for your Ambassador jersey, there actually isn't a minimum distance that you need to ride. So to qualify for the Ambassador jersey, just raise $2,500 this year. Check in online starting July 19th, claim that jersey, and we're going to ship it out to you. For the Hammer Vest, no, you don't necessarily have to ride that distance on ride weekend. But what I'd encourage you to do is track it on Strava, share it with us, share it with all your friends, put it on social media. We want to see that you got out there and that you did the entire distance. And we want you to help us inspire everyone else to try to do the same thing. So no, it doesn't have to be on ride weekend, but we definitely want to see that you did it, and we want you to share it with everybody.
Awesome. Stay on, because I think another question that came in from Cindy, I'm riding for the first time. I'm riding this weekend only. Is that okay? And is registration in July still mandatory?
Another really good question. Yes, you can ride anytime you want. So it's totally okay to ride on a weekend when you're available. What I would say is I would recommend that you still check in so that you can claim your prize if you earned one. So if you raised a certain amount of money, we want to make sure that you get in on online check-in and declare that you did that, so we can get you in the mail everything that you've earned by doing it. So ride whenever you want. Definitely go and check in so that we can make it official. Good question.
Amazing. I'll take the next question. This is from Sparky T. PMH to Niagara is about 160 kilometers. Is this a possible route for the Hammer? Sparky, that's a great question. And we can definitely create one. I think that's a great idea. So tomorrow you will see a 160 kilometer route that will be taking you from the Princess Margaret to Niagara Falls. That will definitely be included as part of our suggested route. So stay tuned and you'll see that pop up in the Strava post tomorrow. Thanks.
So, Bas, do you want to take the next question is, do you provide ride routes for people in other cities, i.e. Winnipeg, Calgary, Vancouver?
Oh, yes, that's a great question. And I'm glad that question was asked because we have been working so very hard to create routes in Calgary, in Vancouver, in Quebec. And once again, that will be included as part of tomorrow's post on Strava. So if I haven't said it already before 1,000 times, stay tuned because that will definitely be part of it. And we'll have a couple options to choose from. So yeah, we're looking to do this nationally and support you wherever you are. So we'll definitely be supporting you out there.
Awesome. A question comes in from John R. John asks, how do I link my training rides to the Strava Ride to Conquer Cancer Club? Hey, John, thanks so much for the question. If Stephanie, if you wouldn't mind putting the link to Strava instructional video. We have put this together for all of our riders with a step-by-step, with steps on how to connect your Strava app, your free Strava app, to your personal page. So it'll be up there in the chat for you there, John.
And then just to build on that, Tammy, also when you join Strava, or if you're already on Strava, make sure you go to the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer Strava Club, which, and I think Bas mentioned earlier that we posted the link directly to the Strava Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer Club. So you can join the club and then all your stats will automatically get fed into our club within Strava. But as Tammy said, make sure you link your Strava to your personal page as well, so your donors and supporters can see and track your progress online.
And John, I think I'm just going to add something else because you may have joined a little bit late. It's also really important to have your Strava connected to your personal participant center this weekend, because if you're out on your bike this weekend and you're part of a team, a ride team, you can collect points. 1 point for every kilometer that you ride and 1 point for every dollar that you raise from June 11th to 13th. So we really encourage you to participate in that if you're part of a team right now. Oh, great question here from a YouTube user, Steve.
Yeah, when are jerseys being delivered?
Yeah.
Are they being delivered? Where's my jersey? Happy, and this person has raised over $2,500 already. So YouTube user will get this beautiful RBC ambassador jersey. And unlike last year where we had the pickup depots, we're going to be shipping the jerseys once you do online check-in. Which if you missed that part of our session today, make sure you go back and watch Jill's version of explaining online check-in, and you'll understand that we will ship you your jersey in advance, so you have it on the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer weekend, August 28th, 29th.
Awesome. You know what, Steve, I'm going to test you on this one. This is from, I think it's from a good friend of mine, Gordon, who asks, what hashtag should riders use as they post on Instagram? Good question, Gordon.
Well, you're throwing that one to me?
It's hashtag the ride to conquer with the number 2, or one of Steve's favorite sayings is ride on. Those are 2 of the hashtags you can use right now. and we would love it. Tag us in your photos, please. If you are training this weekend, please tag us in your photos on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. Our great community manager will repost and share. We'd love to see you out there.
And make sure when you're sharing on Strava, you're doing your rides this weekend or on August 28th, 29th, make sure you title your ride, Ride to Conquer Cancer. Use the hashtags in Strava as well. We want to see Strava lit up with Ride to Conquer Cancer people.
Definitely. Any chance you can include Fredericton, New Brunswick for a suggested ride route? This comes from Lynn. I love that Lynn wants to ride in New Brunswick. So can we, Bass? What do you think? Should we help her out?
I think I'll be working on routes throughout the night to create all these new routes. So why not? We're going to include it. Yeah, we're going to do it. I'd like to explore Fredericton, New Brunswick through Google Street View. So we're going to include that. Thanks, Lynn.
Oh, that's great. I'm so excited. And, we also learned today, and Steve, do you want to share where one of our riders is riding this year?
Yeah, so we were meeting with the folks from the TD Peloton team, and they have a rider from Singapore who's participating. So we talked about, posting a route in Singapore for August 28th, 29th. So Bath, you're going to be busy doing routes all over the world because, this ride is truly international. And, on that note, just as a sidebar, I want to remind everybody that, Princess Margaret just isn't about people who happen to be treated there in Toronto. Mm-hmm. Princess Margaret is one of the top 5 comprehensive cancer research centers in the world. And the research that gets done there and the research that you're funding by riding is supporting people right across Canada and around the world. So it's great to see the global participation in the ride. And we're paying it back by supporting people around the world who unfortunately may be diagnosed with cancer.
Yes, thanks for clarifying that, Steve. The next one, I think Stefan might be great to answer this one. I've raised $1,500 so far, and I plan to ride 160 kilometers on the ride weekend. Do I get both the official jersey and the hammer jersey? Does 160 kilometers have to be in one shot, or can it be spread out over 2 days? And that comes from Ellie. Thanks, Ellie. What do you think, Stay?
Ellie, thanks so much for the question, and congratulations on already having raised $1,500. That's a massive accomplishment in and of itself, so great job so far. And planning to ride 160 kilometers. Love seeing how engaged you are and so happy to see that you're going to go and do that. The Hammer Vest is a super exclusive group. It's really hard to accomplish, and it does actually require that you ride 160 kilometers in one day and raise $3,000. So it sounds like you're on track for the official ride jersey. Mm-hmm. And in terms of how far you want to ride, you're almost there. But yes, the $3,000 fundraising level and 100 miles on one day is what's going to get you the Hammer Vest.
Right on. Thank you, Stay. Oh, stay on there.
All right.
A question from Kevin. Is the jersey sizing the same as last year?
Yes. So last year, the jerseys were a slimmer fit, sort of a race cut. So when you do go check in online, keep that in mind if you experienced it last year, and maybe size up or size down, depending on what the pandemic did to you. But yes, the answer is the jerseys are the same cut as last year. So you can use that as a benchmark for choosing this time around.
Right on. Thank you. Now, okay. Susie, oh, sorry, Steve, I keep jumping on you.
It's okay. I'm used to you taking my lines and taking everything. It's all good. Next question comes from Susie. Do your rides have to be outside? And the answer is no. You can ride outside. You could ride on Zwift. You could ride on your Peloton. You can do absolutely any ride possible. In fact, we have some people that are going to be doing other things than riding as well. So, so that's a really simple answer, Susie. So good luck on Zwift or Peloton or whatever you might be riding.
Right on.
Last question. Once you link your Strava account to your personal page, will it just track from that date forward, or will it populate ride data year to date? That's actually a good question. And
I can
Tammy,
help.
do you know the answer to that one?
Yes. We will be, well, actually, you know what? I think I know the answer, but I think Stefan taught me the answer. So I'm going to ask Stefan to come back, please, and answer that question, just so I don't mess it up.
Yeah, when you do go connect your Strava account to the participant center, it's actually going to ask you to set start and end dates. But if the start date that you set is prior to current day, it's not going to go pull everything that you rode in previous days. So it will track from this day forward. And unfortunately, you won't get credit for all the rides that you did leading up to the time that you actually connected, unfortunately.
Thank you, Stefan. And, you know, I know that's going to be sad for some people. I know someone like Max from our TD Peloton team has already tracked about 9,000 kilometers. So that's okay. Set your dates and ride this weekend, and we'll make sure that we're tracking every kilometer that you ride.
So Tam, I think we're done with the questions, and we're at our 1 hour cutoff, and it's almost my bedtime. So yeah. So I want to thank everybody for joining. We had a couple hundred people join, and just a reminder that this broadcast will be hosted on our Facebook page, and I think to YouTube as well. Tam, will it stay on YouTube?
That's a good question. Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Yes,
I don't even know why I hesitated. Yes, it will, 100%.
And I think we also might bucket out certain segments of this performance. And so if you wanted to hone in on online check-in or the event logistics, then you can also watch certain parts of the broadcast. So I want to thank every single person for tuning in. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for your fundraising. Thank you for supporting the work that we're doing here at Princess Margaret. Our mission is to conquer cancer in our lifetime, and we like to think of this as a massive community affair, and you guys are part of that community that we're all a part of here. So thanks, Tammy. Any parting words for the group?
No, just very grateful for everyone taking time out of their sunny afternoon to join us for this hour. I will tip a drink in your honor this evening. Thank you so much, and I hope that everyone will participate in our Kilometers for a Cause team challenge this weekend. Right on, everyone.
#RideOn.